Photocracy. This is Voltaire's My Man, and I am putting together a Tap 101 video for those of you who may be interested in dealing your mom. You said that you have had a lifelong dream to learn how to tap, so here I am making dreams come true. Okay, so we have our super hazardous tap shoes on. Yes, if you're doing this in your kitchen with a nice hard linoleum floor, you'll get really good sound, and you're not going to care if you scratch the shit out of it. Go you, for practicality. If you're doing it on ceramic tile, you are more likely to slip, fall, and die. If you're doing this on concrete, your knees and your ankles will be very angry with you tomorrow, I promise. So, but yes, super slippery, super hazardous. We have metal on the bottoms of our shoes. Yes, you do not necessarily need actual tap shoes to do tap dance. You can actually just nail on some, or hammer on some either bottle caps, or you can just glue on some pennies onto the bottom of your shoe in this general configuration. Ball of the foot, heel. Okay, so that being said, first thing we have to do, we have to warm up. So which in tap consists of this. You roll your ankles and then you shake the crap out of it, yeah? Roll your ankle, both directions, okay? Your ankle does have more than one direction of motion and you shake the crap out of it. Okay, yes. Tap is extremely technical, and we have very elusive names for our stuff. So tap step number 1. Step. We're very technical. Step. Now when you step, you put your weight on it, and you potentially leave little to no weight on your other foot so that you can then step on your other foot. It looks like this. But we have metal on the bottoms of our shoes, so it looks really cool. Okay, just as a warning though, like 75% of all basic tap steps are pretty obvious. So, obviously step. That's pretty obvious. Okay, basic tap step number 2, toe. There it is, right there, toe. Just like that. So, you should have a little bit of metal at the edge of the sole of your shoe, so it should actually make a sound. Okay, toe. Basic tap step number 3, heel. There that is. There we go. We have very tricky names for all of our steps, by the way, as you can tell. So there's heel. All right, and you can combine a heel and then a toe, and how you would do that is heel, and then you lower your toe. Heel, heel, toe. Or you can do the opposite if you want to get really fancy and do toe heel. Okay, basic tap step number 4, okay, is going to consist of, there's different ways to jump and transfer weight or not transfer weight. So there's a hop, which is this. So we have super slippery, hazardous shoes on, where we can potentially slip, fall, and die, especially if you're in your kitchen on a linoleum surface, and there's counters nearby where you split your skull open. Go you. I love that. I love brave people. So, but hopping, literally, hop on one foot. There is no weight transfer involved here. Absolutely none. Okay? Not to be confused with a jump. You switch feet, back and forth. Jump, 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 jump. Okay? That's basic step number 4, I believe. Basic step number 5, okay, is a shuffle. And what you're going to do here, so with the ball of your foot, you're going to brush forward like these, and then you're going to bring it back. Okay? Notice the same foot is up. If this does not switch weight. So the shuffle stays in place. So front, back, front, front. Okay? And then we can do that to the front, to the side, and all you do is you take your knee and you point it sideways. And the looser you are, the easier it is. And for backwards, you're actually going to go off at about a 45-degree angle towards the back corner. So, because you can only open up so far. And you're just smacking the toe portion, or the ball of your foot, onto the surface, okay? The heel is not involved. So a shuffle only makes 2 sounds. And the smaller it is, the faster it is. As opposed to this, which I make all my little kids do because they really don't have fine coordination. And then there's this, which is faster. Okay, got that one down pat? All right. basic tap step number 6, collapse. This is very similar to a shuffle, except you put weight on it. So, just like the shuffle, you brush forward, and then you step on it. That's the difference. So now you actually have weight on your foot. So, of course, you have to pick up your other foot. Brush, step. Okay? Now, because this one switches weight, it means it travels a lot. So, as a demonstration, if you're just doing straight walking collapse, it's going to look like this. And then if you want to get really fancy, you can go backwards. Brush, step. Now notice my heels are not touching the floor. That is because we only want 2 sounds, and if you drop your heels, I guarantee it's going to look and sound like crap. It'll sound something like this. Okay? It sounds like poop, don't do it. Okay, because with tap, not only can you see the mistakes, but you can really hear them, and the audience can always pick up on a heard mistake as opposed to a seen mistake. They'll forgive a seen mistake quicker than you being off sound-wise because it bugs them. Okay, so those are your basic steps. There's a couple general rules in tap. I can really only think of 2 off the top of my head. Okay, rule number 1 in tap. Your heels stay off of the floor. It's like, well, wait a minute, one of the steps is a heel. It's like, exactly. You only put your heel down when you're told to. So the weight is in the balls of your feet. So that you have to hold your stomach in so that you don't fall over. Okay, and the weights are in the ball of your feet so that you can move more nimbly because of rule number 2, which is when you use one foot to dance on, you immediately switch to the other foot. If you do something with one foot, you switch to the next foot as a general rule. That's about 95% of the time. Okay, so that means you want the weight in the balls of your feet. Your heels only come down when you're told to. Okay, so let's start with some basic steps. Let's do jump shuffles because, hey, let's jump in our new hazardous shoes because we're adventurous. Okay, so shuffle, then you jump. Now remember, a jump switches weight. Shuffle, jump, shuffle, jump, shuffle, jump, shuffle, jump. And of course, these shuffles are to the side because then the audience can actually see the shuffles. Okay, that's a jump shuffle. Okay, so we got that one down pat. Shuffle, hop, step, another basic step. As you can tell, we have very elusive names for all of our steps. Okay, so shuffle, hop, step consists of a shuffle, a hop, and a step. Here's the shuffle, shuffle, hop, then step on it and switch weight because of rule number 2. You do something on one side, you have to go to the other side. Shuffle, hop, step, shuffle, then we use this leg, and then we step on this leg. See how I'm switching feet all the time? So I keep the weight in the balls of your feet so you can switch back and forth. Alright, so that's shuffle, hop, step. Alright, moving on to buffaloes, which is one of the few tap steps that actually has a name. Buffalo, there's 2 versions. One has an extra flap in it, but we're not going to touch that. So you start off with your leg in kind of this flamingo position. So we have our flamingo leg, and we're going to jump onto our flamingo leg like this, and then we're going to shuffle with the other foot. Remember rule number 2, you're always switching feet. Okay, so we just shuffled, and then we're going to jump back onto this leg so that we're back in our flamingo position. Yay, flamingos. So jump, shuffle, jump. Jump, shuffle, jump. Jump, shuffle, jump. Okay, again, keep your heels up. I didn't tell you to put those down. So, and then you can go the other way. And that is a buffalo. Okay, and let's do maxi fours. This is a basic maxi four. There's seconds, thirds, and traveling, but this is a basic. Also called shuffle, hop, toe. Again, with the elusive names of all of our steps. Shuffle, hop, toe, of course, consists of a shuffle, a hop, and a toe. So, And as you notice, we're still on the same side. This doesn't switch feet, so that means we have to do something else to switch feet. But we'll worry about that later. Shuffle, hop, toe. Shuffle, hop, toe. Shuffle, hop, toe. Right? And I'm going to do the other leg because I'm OCD and I need to work both sides. Okay, that's shuffle, hop, toe, or maxi four. Anything beyond that for double maxi fours or third or triple maxi fours or traveling is just a variation on that. Once you got shuffle, hop, toe down, you can do them all. Time step. I'll go ahead and I'll teach you the first shuffling time step. There's shuffling time steps and there's buck time steps. One has a shuffle, one has a stomp. I'm going to teach you the shuffling one because I think they're easier. Okay, so start off facing front. I'm going to go on an angle so you can see what I'm doing. Shuffle, hop, step, flap, step. Shuffle, hop, step, flap, step. Shuffle, hop, step, flap, step. So again, that's shuffle, hop, step, flap, step. Shuffle, hop, step, flap, step. Okay, so there's that. Okay, and let's do flap ball change. Just because it's in everything. It really is in everything. So again, with the elusive names of everything in tap. Flap ball change consists of a flap and a ball change. So there's 4 sounds altogether. Heels off the floor. I didn't tell you to put them down. So, flap. And remember, you're putting weight on it. Flaps are different from shuffles. You put weight on it. Ball change. Ball change. Step back on the ball of your foot. That's the name ball. And then you change feet. That's the name ball change. Ball change. So it's kind of a little 2-step. Okay, and if you have any dance background at all, then ball change is already familiar to you. So now this leg is free. So flap, ball change, flap, ball change. And like any other kind of a flap step, it travels, which means we can go backwards too because we're fancy that way and talented, right? So brush, back, ball. So that is tap 101 and a couple basic steps to get you started. So we cover jump shuffles. We covered shuffle hop step. We covered maxi fours. We covered buffaloes. We covered time steps. And we covered the left ball change. Alright, and thank you so much for tuning in. And if you have any questions or concerns, just let me know. You know where to find me.